We have talked about cold weather camping before, and we've gone into detail about all the different things you have to do to make that work, and I think we've had a little practice at it now. We've gotten quite good at camping in the cold weather. And we've also had the flip side now, and we've had some experience camping in real heat, but this is probably the hottest that it's been.
Definitely.
It seemed like an opportune moment to talk about some ways that you have to adjust your life when you're in Phoenix in August in an RV, right? I mean,
Right.
It's a different story entirely.
It's good to point out that, most people who live on the road would not choose to come to Phoenix in August.
Sure.
But, we have our work, and so there's a job here for us. And we're here in Phoenix in August in 106 to 8 degree weather.
Yeah. I think the hardest day was like the day after our drive, because we got here, it was super hot, and it takes the RV a little while to catch back up, because it's not like you can be running the AC while you're driving. So what do we do, Andrea, to stay cool? Why don't you kick us off? I feel like I've been doing too many of the main points of this story.
Oh, okay.
I'm stealing them all.
Well, I think the main thing is that we have to adjust kind of our daily schedule to do anything that we want to do that involves being outside or turning off the air conditioning units in the morning and the evening. But a lot of that looks like, our workouts or like activities we want to do. If we're going to do archery, which we've been doing a lot of lately, and that's been very fun.
We get up crazy early, and the hotter it is, the earlier you get up, because that's your only shot to have a window open for a minute.
And in Phoenix here, the lows are in 80s. So like 85 is the low for the night.
Both in Salt Lake City and here, we would go hiking really early in the morning.
Yeah. If you want to go on a hike, you've got to start early. Otherwise, you're going to really regret it by the time you're done. I like to do yoga in the morning. It's a good way to start the day and, get good workout in. We
have other people in the RV to think about. Not other people.
Other
Other things. Other
creatures.
Other mammals.
Other characters. Mose. That's who we're talking about. We've talked about him a lot in cold weather, about a lot of things we have to do to keep him warm. And then hot weather is just the opposite, obviously. He drinks a lot more water. It's actually really cute. He loves to go outside, and so to make sure that he can get outside without getting overheated, we'll take him out in the morning. And that was really just in Salt Lake City because we had grass, and obviously here in the desert of Phoenix, there's no grass, so he's not really excited to go outside.
The one thing I have learned is that obviously when you're running a propane stove or an oven inside, I think that's true for electric too. If you're cooking, it's going to get warmer. And so as much as I can, I'll be cooking in the morning. We pretty much live in a cave during the day because there's no way you're going to keep the curtains open and let all that extra heat in.
These curtains are quite good. The roller shades, they really keep out a lot of heat and cold in the cold weather. You'll open it in the middle of, the afternoon when the sun's out, and there is just an immense amount of heat coming through those windows. If you put your hand close to it, you can feel it. We'll try to open them like first thing in the morning so we can see the sun a little bit, but then we'll get them closed.
You got to think about your windows with an RV for sure.
Right.
Because that's where a lot of the heat's going to come in.
We put the awning out when we can. It has actually been quite windy here in Phoenix, so we can't actually put it out as much as we like to. But putting the awning out, which just puts shade on like half of the RV, is massive.
If you have one, whether that's in the mornings, like in Salt Lake City was in the mornings, it would really help. And here it's in the evenings, we can put it out, or in the afternoons.
You only really think about using an awning when you're sitting outside, and obviously we're not going to be sitting outside in the afternoons here, but it really does help to just put that shade on the RV.
And then we have our double ACs, which is quite a nice thing. We run them both because the bedroom one keeps the bedroom super cool. And that's also like if you ever get hot, just go sit in the bedroom for a minute.
Bedroom is so cold.
And so we'll keep all those doors open, and it sends a whole lot of good cold air into the main because it's much harder to cool down the whole main RV on that unit. So if you got to, run them. And then, of course, like we mentioned, the sound, the constant shh. It's a lot. We got the really nice Boses that we're wearing, and all the podcasts, obviously, that
Yeah.
have the full noise canceling on them.
We should link to those in the blog.
Oh, that's a good
they're
idea.
they're the best too. They do really well with noise canceling as well. It's not just like, oh, I'm putting something on top of the noise so I don't hear it. It's like actually canceling it out, and it does it
cancels
really
out,
well.
yes. Yeah. But we also can have a lot of fun when it comes to being in warm weather, I think.
Yeah.
I normally don't go on a hike in the sunrise. That's just a little too early for my blood in most places. But these days, that's your only option, and so we're out there like watching the sunrise, which is kind of nice.
It's
you
pretty.
know?
One really fun way that we've just been able to have fun in the heat is like if we go to an RV park that has those really kind of fun amenities. So like we stayed at one in Sarasota that had like a pool table, and that was really fun because it was more cool. You could go there in the afternoons and we can just hang out.
Of course, we also do some of our activities that we're into inside. We're not just outside. So I'll go to jiu-jitsu, which admittedly is usually just as hot because of what you're doing.
Yeah.
But it is nice to just sort of be in a different space, and it's not quite as loud, you know. So, of course, you do your own stuff.
Rock climbing, yeah.
I like working from home. That's my vibe. I don't like going other places to work, really. But you do.
Yeah, I feel like I get cooped up sometimes, especially, you know, when it is so hot and we are really not going anywhere. But yeah, I like to work at coffee shops and stuff like that. And it's been tough to, you know, I used to work at Starbucks, and they're still, all the dining area is still closed for COVID. And so it's been a little bit tougher to find places to go out and work. But like in Salt Lake City, I would go work at the climbing gym. They had that cafe there, and that's really nice too. The problem is I have to find a coffee shop that'll let me work there, but also that like serves tea, because I can't actually handle coffee on my stomach. So yeah, I'm picky.
Very picky.
Yeah.
So there's ways you can do it. It's just all adapting.
Yeah.
But again, when you have a house or an apartment, these are tasks you don't have to think about. You're not constantly sort of like getting scrappy and improvising different solutions for things. The main point is hot weather is hot, and there's things you're going to have to do to make it work for an RV. But overall, it can be still a really great experience, and just like anything else with being in an RV, just because it's hard doesn't mean it's not worth doing.
Right.
And maybe, you know, you gain something from that.